Okay, now first things first, before you touch anything in the engine bay at all, is you're going to have to jack it up and take a wheel off, like so. Spin your wheel around, and you actually want to remove the centre cap. Let's give that a tap out like so, and that's good to go. So put the wheel back on and I'll show you the next stage. So with the centre cap removed, we've got access to this bolt here, which is the bolt on the end of the drive shaft. So you've got to do this with the weight of the car back down on the wheel, otherwise the wheel will just turn. So what you need, H17, most kind of hub nuts, sets and things like that come with this tool, and you may need quite a lot of strength to crack this off. Sometimes they're on there very, very tight. So let's see how we get on. Here's a tight one. Yeah, there you go. So what I'm going to do is just crack it off, just so it's slackened off on the end. So next, you need to jack it up, get a wheel off, and what you're doing is you're looking at the drive shafts, and on the drive shafts themselves, just above it here, coming off of the side of the gearbox, you've got these kind of shields that shield the top edge of the drive shaft. And around the edge you've got 3 screws that hold this shield in situ, so we need to attack those 3 screws. As you'll see, we've removed the brake discs and calipers, etc. For the sake of illustration, so make it easy for you guys to see. Obviously you won't have that luxury, so it's a little bit tight to get the tools in there, but if you use kind of varying lengths of extension bars on your sockets, you should be able to get these without too much of a hassle. So let's get stuck in. So they're hex size 6. So the 3 bolts around the outside, they're all hex size 6. So just take your time. Like I said, use different kind of lengths of extension bars if you need to. And just take your time, get all 3 removed. Quick tip for you is obviously you can see at the back there you've got the bolts where the drive shaft connects to the side of the gearbox in there. What you'll find happens, obviously, when you put your tool in there and you twist it to try and undo it, what will happen is the whole shaft will just turn kind of away from you. One of the best things you can do for this, obviously you'll still have your disc and your caliper on here. But if you can kind of find a spot where you can put a screwdriver through, there's a couple. You'll find a couple of spots where it should actually jam into position. There's one there, look. And the screwdriver in here will just allow you to get the screw started. Once you've kind of cracked the screw off, it'll come off easily, but you obviously got quite a lot of resistance, so you need this centre to stay still whilst you're working on the bolts at the back. But that's what we're going to do. Let's attack those bolts. You can see they can be on quite tight. To get a breaker bar on this one. They're all size 10 spline, which is like the 12 pointed one. But just be prepared, they can be on very tight. If you've got an air gun and the appropriate tools, that'd be a good idea to get them out now. But that's the bit anyway. So you can see we've got the drive shaft disconnected. So remember, right back at the start we slackened these nuts off whilst we still had the wheels on and everything. So now's the time to disconnect these. Okay, so just remove the main bolt and put that to one side. That'll allow us to gain access. That'll allow us to remove the drive shaft from within the wheel bearing hub here. So we'll do that now. A couple of quick tips for you for getting the drive shaft out. First thing we're going to do is fully lock the steering wheel in the opposite direction to the side that you're working on. So basically the whole of the hub will turn in this direction, like so, which will allow us to kind of pop it out the back there. Once we've locked the steering over, often on the C5 you can actually remove this without having to disconnect any of the suspension arms. So that's what we're going to give a try for first. We've done it before, hopefully we can do it again, especially when you've got the movement on the other end. You can kind of hopefully get a bit of an angle that you need, and that will help you get this out. So that's the first thing that we'll try. Worst case scenario is you would have to disconnect the lower suspension arm, this one here, and there's a bolt on there that you disconnect, and then you'd have to put a spreader in there, spreader tool, just to open those up, ball joint remover, and drop that out there, and that would allow a little bit of movement on the hub here to give you that extra kind of ½ or inch to allow you to get this removed. Hopefully we're not going to have to touch the suspension arm. We're going to see if we can do it as you can on most C5 models, see if we can do it today with just the steering on full lock. Okay, so you can see we've got it on full steering lock. Just put the key in the ignition, turn it fully, take the key out, and then the steering lock will kick in and hold it there for you. What you want to do is put something in that you can just kind of tap the end of the drive shaft, just to gently, don't batter it, just to start moving it out the back here. There we go. Yeah, I think we're going to get this, like I said, without having to adjust the suspension arms. Looks like it's almost out already. Yeah, he's out. So now what we've got to try and do is kind of get a bit of an angle to allow me to get it out completely. So I'm going to wrestle about with that. It's actually out of the socket, but what I've got to try and do is get myself about an inch of clearance, which I'll be able to do at the right angle, hopefully, just to get this clear. Oh, so close. There he goes. Okay, so that's it. So that's how to remove the drive shaft, kind of the easy way, if you like. Unfortunately, that method doesn't work on all Audis. I wish it did, but it's great on the C5 platform.